Love to Hate, the podcast that asks the question, what do you love to hate?
You are a smelly pirate hooker. And I hate your ass face!
Do you love it?
No!
Do you hate it?
Oh, yes! Yes! You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! I toss in your general direction!
No more foreplay.
Hey kids, it's Monday, so you know what that means? It's time for another edition of Love to Hate. I am sitting here with Brandon Luna.
That's me.
My name's Philip Fullman, and today we are going to hate on computer-generated images in film, also known as CGI.
Yep.
Brandon, you and I both, I think, if out of all the disagreements we've had, the one thing we do agree on is CGI does ruin film.
It does.
It can add to it, but most often it takes away.
Yeah. So Hollywood used to use it to enhance films. That was the idea back in the day. Let's erase some wires here. Let's maybe, take this background that was supposed to be a city and there's mountains. Let's change that. That's fine. As enhancements to a film, I think CGI does exactly what it should. The problem is that as time's gone on, Hollywood's decided, you know what, it's cheaper to do CGI than to actually physically do this stuff in camera, to make the sets, to make the models, to do all this stuff. And they've effectively taken the realism out of film and turned it into what we like to call a CGI nightmare.
I think the best example of CGI nightmare, for me anyway, the Star Wars prequels. Mm-hmm. Lucas had said after Star Wars, he's like, the technology just wasn't there to make the films look like I wanted them to. But to me, the original trilogy is very tangible.
Yes.
In the things that you see. It's an actual universe. And in the other, it wasn't. And that's why when I saw Force Awakens, it was so great because it was like, that's an actual X-Wing.
Right.
I mean, I know it's not an actual spaceship that flies, but there's a tangible ship there taking up space on the screen. When they get out of the Millennium Falcon, that's a mock-up of an actual ship that somebody built, and it just adds to the realism of it as opposed to, well, they're walking out of a green screen.
Right.
So it made the film that much better to me, and it kind of had more of that original Star Wars feel than the prequels. And you look at what Lucas says, I couldn't make the world I wanted. It's like, man, the world you wanted looks like crap.
Right.
And you couple that with just horrible storytelling, and they were lousy films.
Right. And it goes to, I think the reason those are even worse is because he's not a good director.
Yeah.
So he can't really get actors to do what he wants them to do, or he just kind of goes, okay, do the scene. Okay, that's great. And then they just get it in the first take and they go. I don't know. I'm not on the set. But when you're having actors act against nothing, you want to have a really solid director that can tell them, look, there's a really scary creature here. I need you to react a certain way. I'm not getting it from you. Give me a little more fear in the eyes. And I don't think that Lucas was doing that on the set.
It gives you an ambiance. It's like going into a restaurant. If you want to have a nice romantic meal, if you're going into a bright, fluorescently lit restaurant, with Formica countertops or Formica tables, and you're eating off of paper napkins, it doesn't quite give that ambiance. But if you've got, dim lights, candles on the table, nice tablecloth,
right,
bottle of wine, music playing, it kind of sets that mood to put you in that experience.
Right.
And if you're just on a green screen, it's like, what am I reacting against?
Right.
I don't feel like I'm here. And part of, I think, losing yourself as an actor is feeling like I'm in this. I'm in this moment. I get this feeling. And I think that carries over to the moviegoer as well. When you watch a lot of old films, walking down a creepy alley,
right,
where it's dark and cobblestone street, you kind of feel the tension because you're there and it sets this mood and you feel it. But when it's all coming out of your iPad or whatever the hell they generate this stuff on.
I'm sure they make it on iPad.
then it doesn't do it.
No, I mean, can you imagine like classic films? Like let's name some classic films here. Can you imagine Casablanca if it was shot all CGI? If those actors had nothing to play against, they're sitting on white tables in ricks. There's nothing else there. It's all green, and they had to do a scene. Could you think that they would effectively do those scenes as well as they did, being in the ambiance of that set and that situation with those shadows and lights and just everything that goes along with it?
it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it takes away. I mean, you have to be a damn good freaking actor to make that work, and I think very few people are good enough to effectively act against nothing. And that's the thing, is it became just a way for them to sneak around shit and do it cheaper, and it's taken the realism out of films.
Well, is it cheaper? Because what do these tech nerds charge to design these worlds as opposed to getting some guys down at the union to build you a set? I mean, what's actually cheaper? You would think generating it on a computer, it's like, well, that should be cheaper because there's really no materials, as opposed to we got to go down and buy some lumber to build this. But with the rates these guys charge to make this, it's like, is it really cheaper?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Who knows?
And they're talking about in the new Justice League that Cyborg is going to be 100% CGI. And they didn't even do that with Iron Man. You know, there was some effects where they put the armor on him with CGI, but they had him walk around in a chest piece and with an actual helmet. But they're making him all CGI, which looks like a cartoon in the middle of a movie.
Right. Yeah, it does.
So what... I can think of so many bad examples.
To me,
it takes me out of the film.
So to me, I mean, I think a worse offense on the Lucas side of things was adding CGI to the original trilogy, because that, you take something that's tactile like the original trilogy. The special effects were great for the time; they still hold up pretty well.
I agree.
If he was going to do anything to those in the special edition, erase those green boxes around the TIE fighters and maybe some of the wires that you still see. For some reason, that stuff wasn't fixed, but he added these extra CGI scenes.
And by the way, Greedo shot first.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Kids, if you watch Star Wars and Greedo shoots first, find you another edition. You can still find them. They're expensive online. You go to movie trading or something, find the one that has the original cut. It's a little grainier. You do see the green boxes a little bit around the TIE fighters. But you know what? Han shoots first like he's supposed to.
Right.
OG gangster.
Exactly. Han's a badass, not some...
Is OG, what is OG? Original Gangster?
Yeah.
So I just said Original Gangster. That's why I should stay away from any type of slang.
Right. But yeah, I mean, so that was the biggest thing to me. I mean, I hated what he did to the original trilogy. It was horrible. It looked bad. The singing guy out of the cereal box ad in the third one instead of Sice Noodles was horrible. I don't know what the hell that thing was. But, I mean, just really screwed those up. And then he messed up the first trilogy, and that's fine. But... CGI has really gone down the toilet, and I think they're doing it on the cheap now, and it shows.
Yeah. Well, because you can do it on TV now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think people are a little more forgiving when it's on TV because they understand limited budget.
Right.
And, they'll try to do stuff that, hey, you understand, okay, this has got to be done by CGI. We can't really do a 9-foot talking shark.
Right.
So,
or
kind of acceptable.
Wall.
Or a giant wall.
Ice wall, like on Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Again, Game of Thrones... effectively done CGI for a television show, but they've got the budget for it. So, that in that type of environment, I think it works, and they make it look good. They did good with the Lord of the Rings series in the original trilogy. The new trilogy, not so much, too much CGI, I think, and it got false looking. But there is a list here on Screen Rant of the top 12 worst CGI in big budget movies, and I love this list. Twilight Saga, Breaking Dawn Part 1, or Part 2, and Part 3. All of those CGIs were horrible.
Never seen it. I did see... Didn't they have a fake baby in one of those?
They did. That was what they talked about, was the baby in Part 2. It was just, horrible. Matrix Reloaded. Everything after the first Matrix,
sucked.
The CGI sucked.
Yeah.
It got horrible.
And I thought the stories did, too.
Yeah, they tried to do too much. They're talking specifically about the Burly Brawl, where he fights, a million different Agent Smiths.
Yeah.
It was just, rubber fighting rubber. It looked horrible. The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, crowded effects. Yeah, so again, in the new trilogy, the effects weren't as good. They definitely cut corners on that. World War Z, rubbery zombies. The zombies were really, most of the zombies were CGI, and they just looked like little rubber. They look like those things they put out in front of the shops where they have the wacky wind guy. That's what those zombies look like in that. Yeah, so not as effective. I agree with that for sure.
Yeah, your zombies really shouldn't do Kermit arms.
Exactly. Yeah, when they're running.
Yeah.
that's bad stuff. Jaws 3D. Remember that?
Yeah.
Did you see that 3D in the theater?
I did not.
I did. And it was awful.
I can imagine.
The best effect in that whole movie in 3D was, I think Jaws went by and ate a fish or something, and the fish head's coming in your face. That was the best 3D effect in that film. And you could still see the string on the fish head. It was great.
That's awesome.
The next one is The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Yeah, the third Mummy movie. All kinds of CGI. Really, you can even go to the second one where they had The Rock as the Scorpion King. Some of the worst CGI ever. And they even made him do The Rock little eyebrow thing, too.
Oh, wow.
And it looked like a rubber eyebrow. It was horrible. Horrible. So those movies, yeah, really bad. They list the Hulk, the Ang Lee
Ang Lee one?
Yeah.
That one was...
pretty bad. The Monster Dogs, they said those are some of the worst CGI effects.
And that was just a bad idea.
Yeah. Any James Bond movie with Pierce Brosnan has
horrible
effects. GoldenEye, not so much. You can tell they did some more. They still did matte paintings and stuff like that in GoldenEye.
But yeah, the one where he's, windsurfing?
Glacier surfing. That's what yep, that's the one. Yeah. Die Another Day. Horrible, horrible CGI. And I saw something the other day. What was it? Escape from L.A. Yeah. Horrible CGI in that.
Didn't he surf in that too?
Yes,
okay.
Surfed, like he surfed a shark or something. I don't know, some stupid shit. Van Helsing was also listed as some of the worst.
Didn't
CGI.
see it, but I could just tell from the trailer it looked stupid.
Super bad. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Wolverine's claws were CGI in that, and they looked like cartoons.
It looked like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
Bad.
You seen Logan yet?
I did. I loved it.
I've got to go see it still.
Fantastic Four, a lot of things. They didn't even mention just the overall effects in the Fantastic Four movies. That's one Marvel needs to get a hold of and do right, because those have just been, every single one of those has been
They've all sucked.
Bad movie. And then the number one was the Star Wars prequels and the unnecessary changes to the special editions. So yeah, that's a good list. Anything Transformers?
I don't watch it, so I don't know if it's good CGI or bad. I just look at it, and to me, it seems like it's all CGI and no story.
Right.
So I don't care.
Yeah, which it is.
All right, well, so at least I'm accurate.
You are, yeah. Michael Bay, way too much CGI in his movies.
Oh, yeah. Michael Bay, I just can't stand Michael Bay.
Not as much as Zack Snyder, but he's still up there.
Snyder relies way too much on it.
Michael Bay actually blows things up. Zack Snyder blows things up digitally. That's
so I mean that actually is a nod to Michael Bay,
right?
Even though he still sucks.
Yeah, he does.
Even my dog's down here going, I hate Michael Bay films. My dog really likes My Dinner with Andre.
Did you? Is there any Michael Bay movies that you actually like?
Black Hawk Down.
That's not Michael Bay,
wasn't it? No. Let's look.
No.
We're going.
Not Michael Bay.
I thought it was.
So let me ask you. Okay, how about The Island? Did you see The Island?
No, but I've heard it's actually good.
That one's actually pretty good. It actually has a story to tell, and it tells it pretty effectively. It gets a little loose near the end. There's too many action scenes and car chases and all that stuff. But for the most part, it was.
It was Ridley Scott.
A solid.
Never mind.
Yeah, a solid movie for him. On the Michael Bay side of things, let's go through here. He directed a bunch of Playboy videos and some Vanilla Ice videos.
I might have liked the Playboy videos and not.
He directed the Bat Out of Hell 2 video for Meatloaf.
Which one?
Bat Out of Hell 2.
Yeah, but what was it?
I don't know. I guess he did all of them, I guess. It says Bat Out of Hell picture show.
Oh, I would do anything for love. Bad Boys was okay.
Bad Boys is okay. The Rock. Welcome to The Rock.
Okay, I kind of liked.
Armageddon. You love Armageddon. Pearl Harbor.
Horrible
movie. Bad Boys 2 was actually pretty fun, too. The Lionel Richie collection, he directed Dancing on the Ceiling.
Really?
That. I don't know. I'm just saying that.
Did he really?
I don't know. He may have. The Island. Transformers. Then that's when you get into Transformers 2. Transformers Dark Side of the Moon. Pain and Gain with The Rock and Marky Mark. I haven't
Didn't see it.
Transformers again. And then 13 Hours, which I think did pretty well. It was the one about the Benghazi thing. That was him. So supposedly a drama.
Oh, okay. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I never saw it, but I heard it was good. Not Michael. Brian McGee keeps saying that I need to watch it. So I guess I'll watch it, Brian. He's one of our listeners.
Brian McGee?
Yeah. He likes us. A little bit. Wow. Have you think any of the Marvel stuff not convincing to you for CGI?
Other than Fantastic Four, some of the Spider-Man stuff, are we counting? Some of the Spider-Man stuff, when you get it home and on TV.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up as well on TV. It looks a little more CGI, Doc Ock. Yes, the first Captain America movie.
Yeah.
Some bad CGI in that, especially when they're driving that car.
Right.
That didn't work. I thought Iron Man did a pretty good job with CGI in the first film.
I agree.
Second one, not as much.
Third one, bad.
Very bad.
Third one got real bad CGI-wise.
Did not like that at all.
And I love that director, too, and it killed me that's the movie.
Didn't you say he's the guy who did the Rocketeer?
No, that's the guy who did the Captain America one.
Okay.
The first Captain America. The guy that did Iron Man 3 is Shane Black. He's the guy that did The Nice Guys and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and he does some good dialogue-driven guy movies, But he did drop the ball on Iron Man 3.
Yeah, and I had high hopes because I do like him as a writer.
Right.
But yeah, just totally shot the...
Yeah, he missed the mark on that one, big time.
Well, it's not his...
No, it's not his genre. I mean, it's not his thing. He's a dialogue guy, and you're not going to get that in an Iron Man movie, unfortunately, unless it's directed by Quentin Tarantino or something. I don't know.
That would actually be kind of funny.
It'd be interesting if he did like one of the Avengers movies, right? So the Avengers...
that would be nice, because Tarantino doing...
an Avengers.
Yeah, doing a team-up.
I think the CGI was pretty suspect in Age of Ultron. Especially the beginning, the first scene. I hated the first scene. In
movie. Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. That all looks incredibly fake. And they tried to do it as a...
one long
shot. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
The stuff on... whatever country they're from, Valhalla or wherever the Maximovs are from. It looked okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't too bad. Ant-Man had some decent CGI.
Right.
Guardians did, and Guardians very CGI heavy. But I'm more forgiving if it's a movie that takes place in space, because it's like, okay, this is going to be some futuristic stuff.
Right.
So I'm a little better with it being
an example
more CGI.
Of how not to handle that is Green Lantern. Bad CGI in that.
Everything wrong with that. First, it starts with the casting.
Right.
You have Ryan Reynolds, not meant to be Hal Jordan. Crappy story, and then just horrible CGI throughout. It just CGI costume, and they even took a piss on that in
Deadpool.
Yeah. Don't, whatever you do, don't make my costume CGI.
Right.
So I thought that was appropriate.
A good DC.
And then there's films where you don't think you need CGI, and then they kind of throw some in, and you're like, why is that even necessary? Like Fury, the war movie with
Shia LaBeouf and Brad Pitt.
Yeah, some of that was just completely unnecessary.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, you have a real tank? Just go ahead and work it so it fires, because it didn't work.
Yeah.
Not a great movie, anyway.
No, not a great movie.
But
so where do you think effectively they've done CGI recently? Star Wars movies, obviously, they're doing some good work.
Yeah, the new
Force
ones,
Awakens and Rogue One.
Well, let's talk about Rogue One.
Okay.
So some obvious CGI. Well, I'm going to say obvious CGI to guys our age,
right,
or to people who just picked up a newspaper like a week before they saw it. Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah.
Here's Peter Cushing. We know, because we saw the original film, and we know Peter Cushing couldn't still be alive. Had I not known, I might have bought that was still him. But I thought he was well done in there.
Yeah,
I thought he looked good. I didn't like Carrie Fisher.
It's almost like they ran out of money.
Yes.
Or something,
Yeah, she did not look right.
We didn't need to see her. I really would have thought it would have been fine if you just saw the
back of her head. I agree. I think it would have been much better.
Yeah, we would have left it at that. It would have been fine. I liked how they used the old footage of the X-Wing fighters throughout the film. That was fine. I didn't have a problem with that at all. And Tarkin looked great. And that's really, to me, the best example of a CGI character that I've seen in a long time.
And the other cool thing was he fit the story. You needed him in that story. You didn't need Carrie Fisher.
Right.
The back of her head would have been enough. And kudos to them. We talked about a couple of weeks ago how zombies, on The Walking Dead, you feel like zombies aren't really that much of a scary threat. They kind of went the way of the Borg on Next Generation.
Right.
Vader, after Phantom Menace, or whatever the last one was in that
Revenge of the
Sith. Okay, yeah, where he's like no and all of that crap, and Vader's now like 2 foot tall. kind of the pussification of Vader. The last time you see him portrayed on the big screen, he's a wuss.
Right.
And then Rogue One, spoilers if you haven't seen it, and I won't give anything away, let's just say, if you watch Rogue One, it brings Vader back to who Vader needs to be.
Before Star Wars, yeah.
Yes.
It effectively brought him back to badass.
Yeah. He's now a scary villain again.
Exactly, yeah.
So I think they did a good job with that.
I'm a big proponent for not knowing too much about your monsters.
Yes.
And I think that's one thing that Hollywood's done recently to really fuck some shit up. Example, Rob Zombie's Halloween took the shape, the character of Michael Myers, who's just this, when you watch the original Halloween, he's just a suburban kid that killed his sister.
Right.
That's scary. You don't know why. You don't need to know why. You just know that he's this psycho guy that's now killing people. And you don't know what the driving force is. You take that character and you give him a backstory of he's got abusive parents, he's lower income.
Sure.
He's now you give him reasons to do what he's doing, and he's not scary anymore.
Well, they kind of did that with the Hannibal TV show a little bit.
Right.
They flesh him out because now he's a little kid. But I thought they did that in the Hannibal movie when you get to see him as a doctor. Mm-hmm. And they try to make him look younger than he actually is. It kind of demystified him.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how about this for quality CGI? Michael Douglas and Ant-Man.
Very good. That was
kind of
creepy. Yeah, some of the best also, though.
Because when you see that, it's just like, what? I'm expecting Carl Malden to walk in. It's like an episode of Streets of San Francisco.
Right.
Very well done.
Very well done. Not well done was the CGI for Iron Man when what was that? What did I watch? Where he goes back and he has that little thing where he's showing people how to use this technology.
In Civil War?
Civil War, yeah.
Yeah, when they do the young Robert Downey.
Robert Downey looked weird. That looked really weird to me. It looked too, just plastic.
Too artificial.
Yeah. I don't know if they wanted it to look that way because it was supposed to be a memory or whatever, but I don't know. It just looked really odd to me. It's like there's a fine line between that looking really good and really bad.
Well, and to me, that was a weak point in the movie.
Right.
Because all that was to set up the fact that Winter Soldier killed his parents.
Right.
Spoilers. Sorry.
Right. Yeah.
It was unnecessary, and they could have just had him come out and talk. You didn't need that CGI backstory. It's like, this is unnecessary. There's other ways to work in, okay, Winter Soldier did this. He's going to be upset about it. Mm-hmm. So I didn't like that whole part of the movie.
Yeah, it was 4 minutes they could have saved.
Absolutely. Yeah. It would have made it a tighter film.
Now, when Tron Legacy came out, I thought the CGI for the young Jeff Bridges was pretty effective.
It was
Have you
decent.
seen it recently?
No.
Does not look good. It just does not look good.
There a lot of times CGI does not transition well to HD TV.
Yeah.
You can see it in a theater and it's a little bigger, so it's grainier. You're not going to get as good as a quality as they're using in digital film in a theater. It's still on a larger screen, so you're not getting that clarity that you're getting on this smaller screen at TV that's HD.
Right.
So it tends to look more animated.
Right.
Man of Steel looked that way.
Now, there is now... Okay, I'm going to get a little geeky here.
All right.
So there is something to be said for technology and the way that it's advanced. I'll backtrack a little bit. So Labyrinth, one of our favorite movies at home. We all love Labyrinth. David Bowie's awesome. And the special effects in that movie are horrible. I mean, it's 80s special effects. A lot of strings, a lot of really bad, not even CGI blue screen where you can see the lines around the characters and stuff. It's bad. But it's a fun movie and we like it. Had a chance to go see it in the theater on film, on 35 millimeter downtown. So we took the kids to see it, and it looked great. I mean, it was grainy and it looked like shit, but the special effects were a lot more effective on the big screen than they are at home. And I think that's because of the technology that we're using for our TVs now. Because we've advanced to HD, and because we've gone from tube TVs, which are never going to give you the HD quality that you need, to this new technology of LEDs and LCDs, you get what's called the soap opera effect on televisions. So what that means basically is the television, by process of how it processes the image, will soften and kind of even keel everything. and you have to really go into your settings on your television and adjust your colors, adjust your balance, adjust your, everything, the tint, the graininess. There's all these things you can do to make it look better. Most people don't do that. So
see, and I always freak out because I get anxiety over actually having a television that's HD,
right?
Because I see other TVs, I'm like, oh my God, that picture looks great. Mine will never look that good. I'm like, well, wait, it's a 1080p HD. Why doesn't mine look like this? Mm-hmm. And it's because I don't know what to go in.
You got to go and calibrate, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how to calibrate it.
Yeah.
And then I'll read, okay, this website says do it this way. This website says do it this way. It's like, I don't know. All I know is when everything goes black at night, I get a bunch of square boxes.
Right, yeah. So yours is too bright. So yeah, calibration.
Is that what it is?
Calibration is the big key.
Is it too bright?
It's too bright. Calibration is a big key to making televisions look the way they should. Most people don't do it. And they'll give you some
Can you
presets.
come over and...
Yeah, I'll give you... There's a DVD I can give you, and it basically puts stuff on the screen. It'll be like a white box cut in 4, and it's like, adjust this picture until you don't see a line in all 4 of the white boxes, and then it'll do a black box, and then a green box, and then a blue box, and you just go through the steps.
Oh, that'd be great.
It'll take you like half an hour, but then your TV looks 100% the way it should look, and movies will look
okay, because
better
there's all those other things on there. You could do it for sports. You can do it for video games.
Right.
What do you do? Just set on the basic settings? And I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for our friends who are listening.
No, I mean, you can go. Most TVs will let you do several different user settings.
Right, but once you do the calibration,
yeah.
Can you then switch between the user settings and it's fine?
Yeah.
So what do you do the calibration on? Just the default setting?
Well, on mine, I have a LG. No. Is it an LG? It's an LG. So you go into the settings, and they have movie setting, video game setting, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you can go within those settings and adjust those settings. So you go to the movie one, which is where you're going to watch your movies, go into that setting, and then do the calibration disc, and now movies is set up for movies. And then you can leave the video game one and the other ones or whatever. That's what I do, because when I watch TV, I know how I want it to look. I'll go to my setting. And my wife, when I come home, it's always on the vivid, bright, whatever. I don't know if it's her doing it or the kids. No one will admit it, but it always looks too bright.
Right.
So then you get those boxes, you get the the pixelization and everything else that goes along with it. I may even be doing it.
When I get into my new place, I'll have you come over.
Okay.
Pretty sure I'm going to buy a bigger TV. That's going to be like a divorce buy of something I don't need.
Right.
Just get a bigger TV.
Right.
And set that up.
The full wall of video.
I might. Who knows? You know what I'll probably do is I know I will buy more films. For one, because stuff goes off of Netflix all the time. Like Buffy's no longer on Netflix. So, plus I don't like streaming it, and then it's like, okay, now it, Wi-Fi dropped for a minute. Right. I just kind of like having the disc.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
Plus you get the extra features.
Quite a bit on our stuff, because we still have a lot of old DVDs, and we have a lot of Blu-rays that were just, oh, it was $5 at Walmart. Fine, I'll buy it. And then you're like, I'm never going to watch that. I've never even opened it.
Well, if
so
you have a sale, let me know.
Downsize some of that
stuff. I'll come by and check some of it
But
out.
it is nice to have it, like you said, for the extras and stuff like
that.
Like if I wanted to go tomorrow, and if I wanted to go home today and listen to the Armageddon commentary track where they just movie, I can do that because I have Armageddon.
Which my understanding is Ben Affleck does nothing but crap all over the film in the commentary.
You want to come listen to that? It'll be hilarious.
Maybe, yeah. That's
I've got it on Criterion
makes up for having to watch the movie. No, but I think that's something I'll probably do, because before I got married, I had a lot more movies.
Right.
And I would watch things. It wasn't unusual for me to watch a movie 3 times on a weekend. Just, hey, what did I miss? Or hey, I watch that every weekend because I like it.
Right.
But you get married, it's like, well, why are we watching this? I don't like this movie. So I'll have a lot more time to do the things I want.
Right. I used to be enough where I'd watch the movie and then I would start it again with the commentary.
Yes.
And I wouldn't necessarily sit down and listen. Yeah. I'll do stuff all around the house.
No, I enjoy doing that. And then,
if something catches my ear, I'll go back.
Yeah, why are you watching this again? But now it's with the commentary.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm and
I are more. That I have a nerdy wife.
Well, there you go. That, so. Yeah, so no, not so much.
Yeah, we've done that.
But now I don't. Now I don't have a nerdy wife. I don't have any wife at all, pretty much. So there you go. So I can increase the movie collection.
Philip Pullman is available, ladies. Just to let you know, looking for women 20 to 25.
Wow,
I'm giving you a demographic here.
20, at least
probably
make it
not
20.
Our listeners.
Yeah, I was going to say 21. Yeah, 21 definitely not our core demographic. No, but thanks for thinking that I could still.
He'll be on Tinder soon. I'll show him how to do that.
I'm not going to be on Tinder.
I'll put him on Plenty of Fish.
No,
he'll be like the one Jewish guy on there.
No, go on J-Date.
J-Date. You don't want to go on J-Date. Those people are horrible.
What?
I got stories about that. I'll tell you.
What the hell are you talking about? No. Those are my people on JDate, you ass.
I used to be a photographer for JDate. That was the worst job I ever had. I will never do that again.
I'm not saying.
You guys are picky. You guys are picky. I will tell you that.
Yes.
But I don't like the way my eyebrow looks.
No,
Can you make
I
my
agree.
eyebrow? Can you CGI
Would you hear about
me? Can you
hear about the waiter who came up to
the
the four Jewish ladies at the table in the restaurant and goes, ladies, is anything okay?
Right. God, it was a horrible, horrible job.
I can imagine they're a little particular about how their photos look. And, and granted, as I go through, I'm like, that's a professional photo. Mm-hmm. But I will say this, women by and large take better photos for any dating site than any guy.
Oh, yeah.
A friend of mine was just showing me, she's on a dating website, and one of the guys that was on there, and I swear to God, he had no teeth. He had like one tooth. He was such a hillbilly. It's like, oh my God. It's like, why?
Was that on Farmers Only?
No, you would think.
Right.
You would think. But no, with guys, I think what you're mostly going to have is you get a picture of a dude in some cargo shorts, polo shirt, Oakleys, and some flip-flops by a sports car or his boat.
Right.
Or you get a picture of him in the tux or the suit with like this disembodied hand on one shoulder, where it's like somebody was cropped out of this.
Yes.
Or it's a photo they got from 10 years ago when they got their picture taken for their real estate agency or whatever their job is.
Right.
So that'll show up on there.
Yeah, of course.
But
of course.
Yeah, you got to just take some candids.
Yeah.
Somebody snaps a picture of you smiling. Put that on there. That's what people want to see. Mm-hmm. They got to see that. We should do an episode at some point on dating, or
once you get to where you're effectively,
or on a technically legally, yeah. Shoot, what was I going to say? I think I told the OneMatch.com story when we were with Brad and Brian talking about the cigar guys. The lady who sounded like Mercedes McCambridge in The Exorcist. She kind of had this voice. And I was like, oh, my God. So, I mean, it's creepy what's out there, but that's one of the things. My best friend actually set up a dating profile for me years ago. It was actually a dating survey, and she was like, have them fill this out and then submit it to me, and I'll approve them. And one of them was, how do you feel about Kevin Smith films, not including Jersey Girl? Because at the time, that was the last film he'd done.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to date you. I'm going to need you to like Clerks.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to like Chasing Amy.
Wow, there's a lot of dating apps on the iPhone.
Apparently there's one for everything.
Wow.
There's actually a Jewish version of one where you swipe. I don't know what that's called.
Hookups tonight. They have a picture of someone's foot. I guess it's like a foot fetish thing or something. I don't know.
Wow.
There's
J-Swipe, which is
that.
There's one called Woo Plus, if you're into the big, beautiful ladies.
Okay.
So,
wow, that's...
Yeah, there's one for everybody.
Yeah.
And apparently Farmers Only is very popular.
Is it?
And you get a lot of urban chicks going on there to find farmers.
Nice.
Because a lot of times those guys have got money.
Right.
Because when you think about it, if you're buying, 3 F-150 dualies, you probably got some cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a work truck, but you got some money.
Yeah, those things are $50K each.
Ridiculously
priced.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, that'll have to be an episode we do, and maybe I'll give or take dating advice.
Yeah.
It's been a while. Got to knock the rust off.
Yeah, you
Although I was successful flirting with somebody a couple of weeks ago. So
oh, yeah?
Went really well, I thought.
Nice.
So, kind of proud of myself.
Excellent. You'll have to tell me that story off mic.
I definitely will.
All right. Well, let's
Has it been 30 minutes?
Yes.
Kids, you've just spent some time with Brandon and I loving to hate on computer-generated images in film. Send us your comments on that. You can reach us at our Twitter handle, which is love2hatepod over on Twitter. And then there's Love to Hate, the Facebook page. Also, our YouTube page. It sounded very formal, didn't it?
No, you said
Facebook,
that. It popped. The Spaceballs popped into my head.
Love to Hate, the Facebook page.
Love to Hate, the Facebook page. Hey, go on there, kvetch about something, kvel about it. Doesn't matter. Tell us what you think on the Facebook page, because that's where we're going to get it. We don't give you our numbers. What are we, stupid? We're not going to give you the numbers. So if you want to go and tell us something, go to the YouTube channel. Go look on there. It's on the YouTube. It looks just like it says YouTube. Go on there, read it. Again, kvetch, kvel, doesn't matter. Put something on there. Give us a topic. You want us to talk about something? Put it on there. We talk about it. Maybe we don't. Maybe your idea is stupid. We're not going to talk about it. But anyway, that's where you can go do that. And then come back next Monday.
Right.
And
you can
join
always
us.
listen to us on iHeartRadio and iTunes and Spreaker.
There you go. We'll talk to you next Monday, kids.
Bye-bye.